So what? If someone doesn't like or approve of you, not everyone's going to like or approve of you. Not everyone's going to resonate with you or get you or understand you, and that's okay. And it's also really important to realize that you don't have to contort yourself into these little performances just to get other people to think well of you, approve of you, like you, validate you. I understand how difficult this can be to let go of at first, progressively. It takes time to let this go, this need, this felt need to keep chasing others' validation or approval, to keep wanting that compulsive desire to want other people to like us. It's hard to do if we didn't feel safe in our family of origin. If we felt like we had to tap dance or walk on eggshells in our family home to have our basic needs met as children. That we had to perform, we had to act a certain way to be liked enough to be cared for by our parents or our grandparents or older siblings or aunts and uncles, whatever the situation may have been for you, caregiver of some kind. We learned that mechanism, that way of being, that inauthentic way of being, very young. I know I did. I learned that I had to walk on eggshells, sort of tap dance, if you will, in order to, I felt like, to keep the peace in my household, to keep my father from blowing up with anger and rage, to keep my mom pacified, to keep myself feeling safe enough so my parents would keep taking care of me, at least on all those surface level ways, those material ways. And they weren't, of course, capable of caring for my emotional needs or seeing my depth, this depth that was here, this inner beauty, this light behind the surface, the mask, the veil. So I learned very early on that it wasn't safe to be authentic. That could get me punished, yelled at, spanked, or even more violent action on a few occasions when I took it upon myself to rebel a few times. Yeah. Sometimes there's just a need to take a deep breath in with all of this and then let out a slow breath, because it's heavy. It's a lot. It was a lot. But it's time. It's time to take your power back. It's time to say, so what if someone doesn't like me or approve of me? And I know for some of you that might be a difficult situation where money's attached. It may be a boss that you're afraid of not liking or approving of you, at least not the real you. And you have been wearing a mask, doing a certain dance, stepping on eggshells, performing in a certain way to stay in that authority's good graces or that other person's good graces. Maybe it's a romantic partner for some of you, someone who's not very aligned truly with you, authentically with you. Maybe it's someone you don't even really deeply respect and you're not quite sure why you're with them. Or maybe you do know why you're with them, but you're looking for a way out. Waiting. What if you didn't have to wait? What if you chose yourself? What if you chose to start living more authentically today? What if you had the courage to trust in yourself and in the universe, and to believe that there were better potentials, better possibilities out there for you? Whether it's in the romantic world, on the job front, career front, maybe for some of you, it's starting your own business, taking that leap of faith. You know what's right for you. And I know it can be hard. I know it's easier said than done. But at some point, there comes a time where we just have to move beyond waiting, move beyond hoping that something will just come in and magically change it for us, some circumstance or some savior of some kind, whether that be a human savior or a financial savior or I don't know what. But if we continue to not believe in ourselves, not trust ourselves, not trust in the universe, not ever take a leap of faith, we'll never know. And we'll be waiting our whole lives. And we'll likely have regrets in that last chapter of our life or on our deathbed. The cost of endless waiting is very high. The cost of continuing to live inauthentically, continuing to choose to people please and perform so that you can continue to stay in everyone else's good graces and be liked by all these people who, some of them, maybe not all of them, but at least some of them, you don't even like or respect yourself. You may genuinely like some of them, but they're never going to get a chance to know the real you if you aren't showing the real you, if you aren't being the real you. You have a beautiful inner light. And I'm so sorry that it was hurt at such a young age, that you felt you had to dim that inner light and make yourself very small and perform in a certain way so you thought you could stay safe. And when we're little, of course, there is a truth to that, a big truth to that. It was necessary at one point, one time. But now you're an adult. I imagine that if you're listening to this now, you're at least a young adult. And your life isn't set up in the same way. You have more choice than you had when you were a child. And the choice is now. It's not in the past. It's not in clinging to the past. It's not in choosing to continue to identify with an old part of you, an old story that doesn't have to continue to have this power over you, this life force over you, if you don't continue to feed it. This is a metaphor, but take it or leave it. You know, whichever wolf you choose to feed, that's going to be a reality. If you choose to feed an angry, bitter, self-loathing wolf, well, that wolf will continue to grow and continue to just get more and more angry and bitter and self-loathing, and will never feel like it can be its true, authentic self. It will always be hiding in the shadows. It's likely also a very scared wolf. And it's being fed emotions of fear and anger, scarcity consciousness, not enough consciousness. And of course, that's the wolf that will continue to grow and get stronger. Instead, there's another opportunity. There's the wolf of authenticity, of self-acceptance, of courage, of choosing to let your inner light shine more and more brightly each day, of choosing faith in the universe, choosing to have faith in yourself and trust in yourself, and take a chance on the one person who truly could have your back. That one person is you. And maybe some of you are fortunate enough to have one really good friend, or a partner, a spouse, one really close relationship, one person, at least one person who you have been really authentic with and who you feel you can confide in. Then that's a good friend. That's a good partner. That's someone to also trust in, who also has your back. Then you have two people who have your back. Not all of us have that. Some of us don't. I am blessed to have that in my life. My husband is that secondary, authentic, caring person for me who always has my back. But of course, it wasn't always like that. For many years, it wasn't that way before I met him, before I was even ready to meet him. But even if you don't have a second person in your life besides yourself, why not become that for yourself? Become your fiercest ally. And the more you become your own fiercest ally, you can't help but start to attract other people into your life, both in the professional sector and in your personal life, friends, romantic life, dating life, that are also going to authentically resonate with you. The more you truly are, and you embody what you want in this life, the more life circumstances outside of you rise and respond to meet that. But you also have to be okay either way. This usually doesn't come to us when we're in a space of searching and seeking from a place of desperation or strong longing, from a place of lack and hollowness, neediness. This supportive energy comes in very unexpected ways when we're okay, when we're good either way, and we're not desperately seeking or searching or grasping for the right people. Circumstance, opportunities will absolutely come to us, each of us, at the right time, from a place of acceptance, surrender, really being what we want to see in the world, really embodying that authentic light, and truly accepting ourselves and standing in our own power. When we're okay spending plenty of time alone, but we're also okay spending time in the company of others. When we don't have a strong preference for one or the other. When we're good. We're good either way, both ways. We're content within ourselves. You are worth so much. And it's time for you to take your power back. It's time for you to own your magnificence, your true inner light, and stop chasing. Stop people pleasing. Stop compulsively being the nice guy or girl. You don't have to be anyone's gopher. And it's okay if someone doesn't like you. Someone who maybe you wanted them to like you. Like you were pushing that energy onto them. You wanted them to like you. I get it. That's happened to me at one point too. Some years ago, there was a relationship where I really wanted this person to like me. And they liked me for a while until they didn't. Until it just got too much. And I saw myself being so inauthentic. Really, like I had given away my power. I had given away all the control to this person. That was kind of the implied contract, because this person was a very controlling, kind of narcissistic personality. And I didn't quite see it at first because I didn't want to see it at first. It took me a while. And I felt very strongly for this person. They kind of embodied physically the certain ideal that I had really looked for in a partner at one point. And we had some fun together. And there was a lot of chemistry and electricity for a while. Until it got complicated and this person wanted to also date additional people, and just said, this is what I'm doing and this is how I'm doing it. And it didn't matter what I wanted at all. They were going to do their own thing as they did it. And they were very strong about that and had a little bit of a bulldozer personality and didn't really care to consider me. And I felt really hurt and broken for a while because they had said that they really loved me, but they didn't really love me. And I didn't really love myself, more importantly. I wasn't coming into that relationship from a place of personal power and loving myself, accepting myself, authenticity. I was pretty much doing whatever I could to keep this other person happy and focused on me in a positive way and wanting to be with me and liking me. And it was exhausting. It was exhausting. And quite frankly, in retrospect, hindsight, the best thing they could have done, because that was perfect for them, was go date outside. Have whatever relationships they wanted. But that was it. Like, I had to set a boundary. And at the time, I actually didn't have the strength to really set a boundary. I was still clinging to this other person because I was so used to abandoning myself. I was so used to being inauthentic just to get this other person's love and approval. And I would have done anything at the time because that's how much I had abandoned myself. It actually took to the point of me getting chronic insomnia. I got for a month, over a month, I couldn't sleep. And finally I had to take myself to a hospital because the sleep deprivation was that serious, and decided to hospitalize myself for a few days so I could finally get the correct drug to help me sleep. And it was at that point that I finally started to see clearer. And thankfully, the relationship came to a swift end after that. Still, that other person had to ultimately end it, but because there was that weakness in me at the time still lingering. But after some months, I was able to recover. And after about a year or so after that, I was so glad that that relationship ended. I was really glad. It became a profound shift and healing time for me. This was about a decade ago-ish. But sometimes it takes getting to a really, like, quote unquote broken, dark night of the soul type of place, feeling completely shattered and completely lost, to start to finally begin to choose ourselves. And of course, that's a very extreme example that happened in the context of a romantic relationship. And those can sometimes be the most visceral and painful and show us our early childhood wounds with the greatest gravity and intensity. But of course, similar dynamics, usually in a less intense, explosive way, happen, in our daily interactions, where we are still from a lighter space, a less attached place usually, but still attached. We're abandoning ourselves moment to moment with other people, wanting to stay in their good graces, wanting their approval, walking on eggshells with other colleagues, with bosses, with sometimes even just people at the grocery store, because it's such a compulsive energy within those of us who are wounded, within those of us who have a codependent wound, within those of us who have experienced oftentimes narcissistic abuse, or at least had experiences with family members in our early life who were either narcissistic or very controlling, very manipulative, very selfish, very egocentric, and we're not able to attune or attend to our emotional needs, or to see and validate our inner beauty and our uniqueness, our individuality that is so beautiful, but was often actively discouraged or put down or punished in a lot of cases. Basically, we got the message, whether more overtly or less overtly, or hinted at, like, it's not okay to be yourself. You need to please me. Your job is to be the perfect daughter, son, child for me. Be the way that I want you to be and expect you to be. Be inauthentic all the time. Yeah, it's an exhausting dance. So what would it be like to come home to yourself, to start becoming the real you, to choose the real you, to say so what to people not liking me? Doesn't matter. You know, in some cases it might feel like it matters more than others because of stakes involved. I get that with a job or whatnot, but you know, maybe it's time to be honest with yourself. Maybe that's just not the work environment for you. It's not a place where you can survive well, let alone thrive. Maybe there's a better opportunity waiting for you that you're just not open to because you've attuned yourself so much to the program and the compulsive dance of just always focusing on others and trying to get them to like you and stay in their good graces and approve of you and validate you, and which is, you've tied to your sense of safety. You've tied your sense of safety and oftentimes your sense of self-worth to being able to compulsively get people to accept you, approve of you, like you. And they're not even really liking, approving, validating the real you. They're validating a mask, a performance, a performed aspect, something you learned in childhood as a way of getting your needs met and staying safe in your household. What if we could outgrow our childhood wounds by loving this inner child and holding it and helping it feel safe? Safe with who we are now, updating the software, because that's an old operating program from 1980 something, 1990 something, 2004, whatever time, maybe 1975, whatever time it was. It's an old software program, one that's severely outdated. In fact, if we still had a software program running on our computer from 1975, which would have been on a floppy disk, because that was certainly the beginning of computers, or 1986, even 1990s, whatever, it wouldn't serve. It would actually not even work with our updated, like a modern computer. It would be ridiculous to try to keep that going, right? It would be ridiculous to try to keep that going. It would be completely misaligned with the system, the contemporary system. So that old software from 19 whatever is now misaligned with your adult system. It's not functioning properly within your adult system because your reality has changed so much. Your ability to care for yourself has changed significantly since you were 5 or 6 or 12. And your dependence on parents or caregivers is certainly not the same as it was when you were a child. So it's time to update that software from whatever year it's still operating on, to let it work for your system as it's evolved into this beautiful adult who has the potential to not just survive and get by, but has the potential to flourish and thrive and live a life that brings out your beautiful creativity, your beautiful contributions that you have to bring to this world, your incredible uniqueness, your graceful, lovely inner light that's felt so suppressed. I encourage you to reflect. Take some time for you to reflect on whatever parts of this resonated most with you, and to do something good for yourself that feels just right for you. Only you know what that is. Maybe it's taking a walk, a bath, journaling, meditating. My intention here is always that we come home to ourselves every day in small ways. Just choose differently, progressively choosing differently, choosing to take back our power, to let our authenticity shine, to be true to ourselves. I wish you a beautiful and wonderful day. Take care.